welcome to World Talks. I'm Adam Jasser. My guest now is Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, the leader of Belarusian opposition, and we're talking at the Warsaw Security Forum, which is winding down today. Madam Tsikhanouskaya, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So I understand this was a busy day. You had lots of negotiations. What's your takeaway from all these conversations you had here at the Warsaw Security Forum?
Look, first of all, I want to say the words of gratitude to Warsaw Security Forum because here always very critical issues are being discussed. Today, of course, a lot Ukraine was in focus and assistance to Ukrainians to win this war. General Kellogg from the USA was present.
You met him, right?
Yeah, I met him.
Did you manage to discuss Belarus at all with him?
Of course, I met with General Kellogg for specifically Belarusian topics, though of course we explained how victory of Ukraine important for Belarus as well.
How would that work?
What do you mean?
How would that work if Ukraine is victorious at some stage?
Look,
how would that influence Belarus?
Victory of Ukraine will give opportunity to many other post-Soviet Union countries, to strengthen our independence, because Russia doesn't see Belarus, Ukraine, Georgia, Moldova, Armenia as independent countries. They want us to be their satellites, to be like they treat us absolutely as not the children who decided, to choose their future by themselves. No, just return to our common past. But we are sovereign countries. We want to, Belarusians, for example, want to be part of European family of countries because we historically belong to Europe and we mentally Europeans. So that's why victory of Ukraine will weaken Putin and will strengthen actually aspirations of the nations and strengthen actually European Union in their decisiveness.
Right. And when it comes to Belarus, how do you assess these recent American initiatives? Mr. Kohl has been traveling, meeting with Lukashenka. There was this personal letter from President Trump. What do you make of this? Isn't there a danger that the Americans are going to neglect, let's say, the Belarusian democratic society, if you will?
So, about release of political prisoners, first of all, 2 groups of people have been released. I have to say that this release is the result of joint efforts of European countries with a strong principled position policy of non-recognition, pressure, so on and so forth. It's work of democratic forces of Belarus who kept Belarus high on the agenda of these 5 years, and of course diplomatic efforts of President Trump team. Belarusian case might be a success story for President Trump because releasing of at least 1,300 political prisoners, it's a huge scores, for any president.
He genuinely wants prisoners released, right?
Absolutely, and he said it publicly. Lukashenko, you have to release 1,300 political prisoners. We as democratic forces, we are in constant communication with State Department, with John Kohl, with General Kellogg, Chris Smith regarding these releases, and we also inform them that people have to have right to stay in Belarus or to be deported, as it is now, that people don't have to take away their passports because people are deported without passports. It's de facto stateless. So, of course, we encourage and we appreciate the efforts of President Trump to deal with case of Belarusian political prisoners, and hopefully it will be a successful story. But, of course, we don't see that it's changing of the policy of the USA. In summer, they prolonged all the sanctions against Belarusian regime. We have bipartisan support in America. But of course, Lukashenko sells this communication to Americans as the victory. It's normalization.
For domestic consumption.
Absolutely, normalization. They're already declaring that they will build a field for golf, just in case President Trump is coming. So, of course, what might be threats is that this approach of President Trump, let Trump be Trump. This is his method.
Is it that Lukashenko perhaps is sensing that Putin is not really winning in Ukraine and therefore he's courting the Americans to hedge his bets?
Oh, no. Our American partners understand that this approach to split Putin from Lukashenko, Lukashenko from Putin, it's unapproachable because they have symbiotic friendship. They will already be together. Lukashenko serves to Putin's interest. He serves to Russia, not to Belarus. The Americans might perceive Lukashenko as, as a postman who is sending messages to Putin because he's communicating to him rather often. But it's not just to get Lukashenko out of Putin's hands. No, they're already together. But the task is to save Belarus from two dictators. And American partners know about this. Now they're using carrots they have to release, to save lives. They also have sticks. But the threat is, I just want to say that Lukashenko hopes that this new approach of President Trump might split unity of Europe. That you will see, Americans just doing this, we have to do the same. No, Europe, which policy is based on principles, on values, have to continue its policy. And I don't see any appetite of changing this policy.
Right. And recently there was this episode when Poland closed the border with Belarus. And we saw that the Chinese weren't very pleased with it, and we don't exactly know what happened. But what is your reading of this? Have the Chinese put pressure on Lukashenko to stop, for example, some of his activities on the border to restart trade, or is this just Poland's independent, so to speak, decision?
So at the beginning, I have to say that it was such extremely important, strong, and bold step from Poland. Just to show dictator who is commit these provocations on the borders. In Belarusian prisons, there are several political prisoners, including our common hero Andrzej Poczobut.
Yes.
These drills, this deployment of nuclear weapons, these drones that are falling on the citizens of Poland. Of course, it's enough. And Poland showed that look, we can. Close the border just to harm you. We understand that it's also cost something, for our citizens, but we need to show that we are strong enough to cut, this goods transition, to Europe. And of course, Chinese were not happy with this because Belarus is transport hub,
Yes.
for them. And after a meeting of Chinese representatives with the Polish government, they played a constructive role.
You think they did?
They managed to talk to Lukashenko, and obstacles were just favorable for opening borders. Something
so you
has
think
happened.
there was some Chinese pressure
Yes,
on Belarus?
Absolutely.
Okay. So speaking of Mr. Poczobut, how do you see the chances that he would be released anytime soon?
I think that the chances are high because, again, we know that America is continuing their diplomatic efforts, and of course Poland showed their decisiveness because the demand of opening of the borders were stop provocations and you have to release all political prisoners, including Andrzej Poczobut.
So, excuse me, how many political prisoners still?
Look, at the moment, we know about 1,300. The real number might be much, much higher because
And they're still in
recently
prison?
They're still in prison. More than 1,000 new people have been detained recently, more than 1,000. So I just want to return to Andrzej Poczobut. Look, he's real example of principality and courage. I'm absolutely sure that Poland was trying to release him many, many times. But this person, he says, I want to stay in Belarus. This is my country. I don't want to leave it, and I want to leave prison on my conditions. I don't want to sign
So
any...
do you think this is the reason why this hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
So how to come out of this deadlock? Should Poland close the border again?
Look, he says that I want to, to leave the prison and see free and democratic Belarus. So I think it's also, example for Poland and other countries, not example, but just a shout that we have to dismantle this regime. We have to cut the core of the problem of Belarus, is Lukashenko's regime. So I want him on freedom. He's in rather bad, shape physically, because the political prisoners are going through awful tortures in prisons. But it's like the voice that must be heard all over the world. He's sacrificing his freedom, possibly his life, I don't know, but just to send his message. Belarus must be free, and please help Belarusians to get our country back.
Thank you very much. Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, the leader of Belarusian opposition.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching World Talks. I'm Adam Jasser. See you soon.